Your Honor, will you favor us with some answers to some queries that have been brought forward?
We'll be honored, Mr. President, and we'll do these representations best to answer our dear Senate President's queries, Mr. President.
Okay. At the outset, allow me to place on record that I am very supportive of the measure. You know, we just want clarification on some matters. Because indeed, as it shall be known, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act and the declaration of the policy apparently is to prohibit and eliminate the abuse of or the use of abusive, deceptive, unfair debt collection practices that are being practiced nowadays. Now, so okay, let me start. The first question: what if a debtor provides a false address or keeps changing contact details? How can a creditor lawfully locate the debtor under such restrictions?
In this bill, Mr. President, first of all, we'd like to put on record our sincerest thanks and gratitude for our Senate President for supporting this bill. And to answer the question, Mr. President, in this particular measure, we have placed in one of the provisions of the bill that the third party can, the families, Mr. President, can be contacted by the third party, the collectors, Mr. President, but they can only give the address and contact information, Mr. President, but they will not be allowed to give the details of the said amount or figures na inutang po nila, Mr. President. But when it comes to giving the addresses and the contact details, they are allowed, Mr. President.
I distinctly recall during your sponsorship speech, ang isa sa mga nabanggit niyo yung nangyayari ngayon na yung mga nangungulikta ay nananakot at kung ano-anong ginagawa. Ano. Ang nakikita natin on the other side, ito namang nagtatago. Ano? So,
tama po
we're
kayo.
trying to find the middle ground. Ano, na makatulong naman tayo kahit paano.
Opo.
All right. If a debtor knowingly refuses to answer calls, text messages, so at what point does a follow-up become a violation based on your proposed bill?
First of all, Mr. President, we'd like to point out that kapag umutang po kayo, ang panukalang batas nito, hindi ho ibig sabihin hindi na kayo magbabayad. Yun po ay napakalinaw at dapat nating ipaintindi sa lahat. Ang utang ay obligasyon po ito. Ang nais makamit ng panukalang batas na ito ay hindi po ito gamitin ng mga abusadong kolektor para ipahiya at magbigay ng death threats at ipahiya yung buong pamilya at i-transform yung obligasyon na utang to a kasalanan, Mr. President. Yung proposed measure po does not prohibit collection. We would like to emphasize that even further. It prohibits only abuse, Mr. President. So yung katanungan po ng ating ginagalang na Senate President, yung pong pag-utang, Mr. President, hindi naman po pwede na gamitin itong panukalang batas na ito para hindi po magbayad. Sa mga provision po ng ating panukala, sa section 4 po ng...
Limitasyon. Walang naman limitasyon, ano?
Wala po.
Yung paniningil. Wala tayong sabing limitasyon. Sinasabi natin yung pamamaraan ng
pagkolekta, Mr. President, ay nais natin magkaroon ng framework yung pagkokolekta. Kasi pag tinignan natin yung mga batas na existing laws, for example, yung Republic Act number 11765 o yung Financial Products and Services Consumer Protection Act, dito po wala ho talagang komprehensibong statute specifically regulating debt collection practices. Wala akong concrete framework. Doon po sa Securities and Exchange Commission, meron pong in-issue na memorandum, but this is just a memorandum, particularly binabanggit po yung public shaming, yung contact list scraping, etc. But then these are also regulatory issuance. Kaya we feel, Mr. President, na magkaroon dapat ng batas, necessary po ito para makatulong doon sa mga existing laws at makagawa po tayo ng framework kung ano ba talaga yung proper practices na dapat i-implementa sa pagkolekta ng utang.
Okay, doon sa binabanggit nyo kanina na, ay malinaw po yan, no? Doon po sa binabanggit nyo lang kanina, balikan ko ng konti, yung third party, sabi mo, pwedeng kontakin yung third party at yun ang makapagbigay. Meron ba tayo ditong rules on disclosure sa bill ninyo?
Yes po.
Kunwari, the debtor cannot be reached. How can a creditor trace the debtor without violating any rules of disclosure? Kung meron tayong rules of disclosure dito.
Mr. President, meron po dito sa Section 4 ng ating panukalang batas na kung saan pwede pong kontakin ng third party yung pamilya, kamag-anak ng debtor, yung nangutang po, Ginoong Pangulo. Ngunit nilagyan din po natin ng safety or security features na pwede silang kontakin, ngunit hindi sila dapat i-harass, hindi sila i-threat, Mr. President, hindi sila magkaroon ng public shaming. Kasi yung mga na-experience po natin na reklamo, Ginoong Pangulo, ginawan po sila ng mga AI videos, sinama po, nakuha po yung mga data, yung mga pictures, etc. At ginagawa po ito nung itong third party collector. So ang gusto po nating ma-attain dito, Mr. President, ay yung pong creditor ay maging mapamili din ng pagkuha ng kanilang third-party collector nang sa ganun, Mr. President, magkaroon din po ng confidence yung ating mga debtors, yung mga nangungutang na hindi po sila, alam nila na una, hindi sila makakalusot doon sa obligasyon po nila. May obligasyon po sila. Hindi lang po sila dapat parusahan ng husto, mas maging malinaw po yung patakaran kung magkano yung inutang, magkano yung interes, magkano yung dapat nilang bayaran at malinaw din po kung kailan sila dapat magbayad. Kasi po ang nangyayari doon po sa mga OLA o yung mga online lending apps, Mr. President, naka-forma na po, may pattern na po, Mr. President, magpipindot ka na lang ng check-check. Pagkatapos magugulat ko, 7% pala yung iyong daily interest rate. So, nilagyan din po natin ng particular provision yung pagtatalaga po ng tinatawag na yung calculator. Loan cost calculator, Mr. President. Sa bangko po, Mr. President, pag umutang po kayo, malinaw po doon yung magkano yung inutang mo, yung interest, sa ganitong buwan, sa pag nagbayad ka, malinaw po doon, meron pong nakalagay na ganun. Sa mga online...
At sa outset nun, pag pinasukan mo yung loan na yun, meron dong nakalagay na certain time, pwede mag-adjust, pwede magbabas, pwede
Opo.
magtaas. Meron din namang nakapako.
Opo,
Di ba
tama
ba?
po kayo doon, Mr. President. Ang
Yeah,
nangyayari-
madami kong utang kaya ko alam.
So Mr. President, ayan po, ganyan po yung sample ng loan calculator. Nakalagay na po dyan, Mr. President, ilan yung amortization mo, yung annual effective interest, nakikita po. Ang problema po doon sa nangyayari ngayon, doon sa mga online lending apps, Mr. President, ano ho yun? Naging general lang na parang form. Check mo lang, tapos magugulat ka na lang na yung 90% ng inutang mo halos, yun na yung binabayaran mo na interest, Mr. President. At nagugulat po sila. Dito po sa ating panukalang batas, nais natin magkaroon ng komprehensibong framework when it comes to debt collection. At nakafocus lang po tayo dun sa debt collection. Wala po tayong ginalaw pagdating doon sa pagbigay ng ceiling ng interest, etc., Mr. President.
Dito po sa bill ninyo, meron din ba ritong pwedeng takbuhan yung creditor kung yung debtor falsely accusing already the creditor na sinasabi na tinatakot siya or sinasabi nga.
Ito pong bagay na to, Mr. President, is a court action na, Mr. President. So, ang panukalang batas po ay nalilimitahan doon sa paggawa ng framework para sa pagkolekta lamang ng utang, Mr. President. So
kung parang may mga restriction tayo nilalagay kasi, no? So that would that leave the creditor no other practical remedy except to file a case? Barangay conciliation or whatever.
Usually, Mr. President, and again, let me put on record that we are open to suggestions and amendments, Mr. President. But in practice po kasi, even during the hearing, yung creditors po, may means talaga sila na maka-avail nitong conciliation o yung tinatawag na pag-ayos doon sa utang nila. Ang talagang gusto nating mapuntirya, Mr. President, ay yung mga abusadong nangongolekta ng utang, Mr. President.
Mm-mm. All right. Let me move on to section 9. Section 9, letter H. Saan ba ito? I want to be.
Continuing to collect.
I want to clarify what you specifically mean by the debtor. Saan ba ito?
The debtor after they have informed the debt collector. Any
Okay.
verifiable means.
The debtor. Saan? Ito, okay. Okay, line 13, di ba? Specifically, what do you mean by ito quotation from your bill? The debtor wishes that the creditor take the matter to court. Anong ibig sabihin natin ito? Parang, sige, demanda mo na lang ako. Ganun ba?
Mr. President, as I was informed, Mr. President, in practice, usually the creditor will decide to go to court na, Mr. President. So ang isang remedy is na mag-file po ng case yung creditor, Mr. President.
Eh, bakit yung debtor ang gusto dalhin siya sa korte? Does this mean
Sorry,
that the
Mr.
debtor has the prerogative to demand to be taken to court? Ano? By the creditor? Abay, alam natin, pagka dinala sa korte yan, abutin na siyam-siyam yan.
May I ask, Mr. President, for a minute suspension, Mr. President, just to be
Session
very clear about
suspended.
it. We are, ito pong part. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for your patience. Mr. President, ito pong particular provision na ito, Mr. President, ay para bigyan ng karapatan yung debtor, Mr. President, na hindi siya maharas na further para po pag-usapan na lang ito dahil papunta na po ito sa korte. We are also welcoming any amendments, Mr. President, to the point na pwede po itong gamitin only if a case has been filed in court, Mr. President. Minsan ho kasi yung debtor would want to settle this in court dahil mataas na ho masyado yung interest, hindi na niya kayang bayaran yung ganong kalaking interest, at para din ma-stop yung harassment of collection, ang recourse na, Mr. President, ay dalhin ito sa korte. So yun po yung ang goal po dito, Mr. President, ay just to make sure, Mr. President, na yung excessive harassment ay hindi maramdaman ng debtor, Mr. President. And naiintindihan po natin yung binabanggit ng ating Senate President na maaari itong maabuso dahil sasabihin nila isa court na lang natin, no? But
Oo eh, kasi-
we can also put a provision, Mr. President, if I may suggest also, na that would only come into the picture kung meron na pong na-file na kaso sa court. And we will welcome any amendments to that, Mr. President.
Yes. Yes, thank you for that, Your Honor, Mr. President, Madam President, because we will try to craft a proposed amendment to that particular point. Ano? Kasi it's
Tama
it's
po.
under Section 9, it's under prohibited acts. Parang namang masyado nating, di ba?
Tama po.
Baka maging kawawa naman masyado yung mga kreditor pagka ganito. So, bigyan din natin
Yes,
ng
sir.
konting open window
We'll welcome any amendments to that, Mr.
Sige.
President, and with the emphasis, Mr. President, that again, Mr. President, obligation is an obligation, hindi po ito dapat takasan, Mr. President.
Oo. So, okay. So moving forward, the bill creates a complaint system for debtors, no?
Yes, sir.
So, is there any similar remedy in the bill for creditors against evasive debtors?
More, Mr. President, on claims for court action, Mr. President. Talagang debt collection lang po yung ating pinuntirya dito, Mr. President, sapagkat ngayon po meron pong revised penal code, meron pong Data Privacy Act, meron pong Financial Consumer Protection Act, Mr. President. So basically, Mr. President, court talaga yung ano po ng creditors, Mr. President.
That is my question because you have studied this more than, well, you're the sponsor, no? And I suppose you're the author also. And in our case, no, in my case, I have browsed through it, but baka ang nangyayari dito, all restrictions effectively force creditors to immediately go to court. Ganun ba ang gusto natin mangyari dito? Kokorte na lang agad ang creditor.
Ang pinuntirya lang, Mr. President, talaga ng panukalang batas na ito ay yung debt collection. Ngunit we are also aware, Mr. President, and interested doon po sa issue ng ating Senate President in balancing yung creditors' rights, Mr. President. Kaya po doon sa Section 5, Mr. President, ng panukalang batas, inaalaw po expressly yung creditors to use reasonable and legally permissible means para makakolekta ng mga utang. At ayaw din natin, Mr. President, and that's why, again, let me put on record, we are welcoming any suggestion on how we can also protect yung mga legal and decent creditors, because we wanted to promote, dito po sa panukalang batas na ito, we wanted to promote yung responsible lending and the ethical collection practices, but we don't want also to dissuade them, Mr. President, from business, Mr. President. At muli, gusto natin na ma-regulate lang yung method, pero yung right to collect ng mga creditors hindi po dapat maapektuhan. Siguro yung pong gusto nating muli pagtuunan ng pansin yung method of collecting, Mr. President.
I concur. Pero sana, but I hope we can find in the bill. I'm trying to look for it. For us to be able to distinguish between a debtor who is in genuine hardship
Yes.
and one who merely refuses to pay.
I
Doon
understand.
tayo
Yes, Mr. President.
mainit doon sa who
Yes.
refuses to
Yes,
pay.
and Mr. President, I cannot agree more with your statements, Mr. President. And in fact, Mr. President, yung creditors po kasi have vast resources to collect debt. But in any case, Mr. President, yung BSP, NPC, SEC, they also have this so-called mediation powers. Mediation powers na yung debtor and collector can take advantage as a remedy. So perhaps, Mr. President, and I'm just thinking out loud here, we can incorporate this particular provision in the bill in the period of amendments, Mr. President. We can look for the wordings, Mr. President.
Thank you for that. We will try to craft something that
Thank you.
would be acceptable to the distinguished sponsor, Your Honor, Mr. President. So I thank you for
Thank you.
answering our